I'm back in the same place that I left. In like the last video I posted, because it's been basically 20 minutes since that last video I made. And in said 20, 30 hour, whatever, a lot of things. So I just made a short about anxiety about being seen. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, listen, I feel like a short is like way too little. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to make a video about anxiety and actually show the true essence of it without editing it? That's my brand. I don't like to edit and I don't want to edit. It's not because I don't think editing isn't beautiful. I am stubborn as fuck, and I am personally out here to absolutely destroy my fear of being seen, and that in this particular part of the process, I'm trying. I'm like, this is so weird. It's not weird. It actually makes a lot of sense, but anxiety, right? I am going out of my way to be what my brain, my subconscious, the taught thought process, learned behavior, right? I'm going out of my way to be as unfiltered and raw, as ugly. That's a limiting belief system, and that's a taught belief system, right? I don't condone, I don't agree with. I'm trying to rewrite that. I'm trying to challenge it enough for it to like basically have a temper tantrum and just leave my nervous system entirely. So that's why I don't edit, and that's why I am doing what I'm doing, and that's why I'm like, I want to make a video about anxiety. How do you do that? I guess you show your anxiety on a camera, unfiltered, raw. I think there's this need to, obviously we as humans in this particular time period of human existence, we use this a lot. I don't want to say too much. There's no such, you know, who cares what's too much, what's too little, right? It's it's diverse and subjective, but for the purpose of conveying emotion, I do think that we use this a lot, and we don't just sit. I'm feeling it. We don't just sit in what we are and what we are at that moment, right? Because we're always so different in each and every moment, right? But that's the beauty of the dance of life, right? In particular, we don't sit in silence with people. Like, it's very hard, at least for me, with the anxiety of being seen, to just be here and sit and not think, how can I perform? And it's not performing like I'm intentionally performing to manipulate. It's like, how can I show the world that I'm worthy? How can I show the world what I'm talking about so I don't get ostracized, yelled at, berated, etc., etc.? How do I show up in the face of people so I can, in a way that makes me feel safe? And sitting in silence with no explanation at all, while having anxiety in particular at this moment in time, is not one of those things I'm used to. So the reason I started talking about like nonverbal communication, as I continually explain why I'm sitting in silence as I continue to have anxiety. But it is actually interesting. Like, the reason I bring it up is because I think that when we're nonverbal, like, the human mind can pick up so much more of what's going on. So, like, when I was brainstorming or like felt the inkling to want to talk about anxiety, I was like, huh, maybe I'll do a bunch of editing. Maybe I'll just videotape myself rocking back, or like, not rocking back and forth. Like, I don't want to perform. I was actually going to sit in front of a camera and just like be in anxiety. But maybe that wouldn't be enough. Maybe I had to like overlay it with like a voiceover and like do all that and like do cool editing shots, make the lighting correct. Like, at that, I really didn't have to turn on this light. I could have just like let it look like I was in a dark room, spooky, scary, quality, pixelated, everything. I was, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't really want to go that deep into that hole, so I turned on the light. Yeah, I didn't want to go that far. I didn't want to push myself that far, as far as like challenging my perfectionism in relation to having anxiety being seen. So, yep. I do think I want to talk about all the points that I mentioned in my little short that I took right before this video, though. I think they're important. I feel like I want to save them for like a podcast, though, and I want to talk about it with other people. I want to laugh with people about the insanity of this human life. I could talk for days about philosophy. I could talk for days about why is this, why is that, and in a weird way, I do feel like me talking about why is this, why is that, like, why is life, is a form of, it's a safety protocol for my nervous system to be like, hey, if you were to just exist, you know, that would be a bad idea. That would be threatening. That's been harmed in the past, right? Our sense of autonomy, right? So it's like this weird thing. Like, if you perform and if you draw attention to yourself and if you're like, ooh, I look pretty, like, ooh, pretty, right? You are still drawing attention to yourself. So it's like, why would that make sense? But it's like, if you distract them enough, they won't think to judge you. They won't think to send weird energy your way, like, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So weird how we just have, wow, I like broke my brain with that one. Yeah. It's so weird how we just, how control, the seeking of control, the want for control takes so many forms. Bloody gnarly, bloody hell, bloody gnarly. The further I feel into this, into sitting in front of a camera and breathing, just breathing, there's such an intimacy. And that's like genuine. That's such a just a genuine, like, good dopamine feeling. It's there's such an intimacy in this. I get why now, like, people do stuff like this, like, just sit and talk or not and put themselves out there. I get it. For this moment, I get it. There's such an intimacy in being seen. Other side of the spectrum now. We just changed to the other side of the moon. I don't know if you noticed that right now, but just then. Yeah. I'm now realizing, wow, there's the idea, or the knowing that I'm currently going through anxiety, right? And people are watching me, literally watching me go through anxiety as I like continue to unmask myself and let my face truly show how I'm like actually feeling, right? There is such, wow, wow. There's such a profoundness in being seen. Mm. It feels like, I think, what heaven is supposed to feel like heaven on earth, right? Wow, big heart chakra stuff, big feels. This sense of unity, this like an actual unity with the world, not like a pursuit of unity. It is just unity. And I do notice that it does come from being nonverbal. It does come from body language instead of language from here. And I think that's where I was getting at with, we're up here and here a lot. Even just like sitting here in silence, like with the house, and listening to my dog breathe, and the creaks, simultaneously like feeling like there's just this all-encompassing energy around me, that being whoever sees this, or the fact that it's going to be in the ether for a lot of people to see, the potential of a lot of people to see. Yeah. Put that in a drug and smoke it. That's really good stuff. All right, I think that's gonna cut it there. And I don't mean, I'm not like, I don't mean to like ruin a good time for myself, but I do gotta go. But it was nice to peel back some layers, get into mindfulness in a different way that I usually do. I've done this stuff on my channel before where it's just like sitting in silence with people, but it wasn't for me, it was for other people. It was like, oh, I'm gonna be here for people who need it, you know what I mean? But it wasn't for, do I need it? How do I need it? Whoa. And how am I letting myself down, like, by not doing this, right? That never crossed my mind before. And the realization of how profound this stuff really is, and how much I do need it, but I'm gonna kick and scream like a traumatized cat to get here. And then once I'm here, I'm like, that was nice. But yeah, I'm gonna kick and scream. But yeah, I really do. I do need it. Need this. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. Thank you for being here with me. And if I did help you, if you felt helped by watching me go through all of this, I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. And I'm sending love out to you and love you all at the same time. And shit's rough, but I guess if you sit in it long enough, you start to feel the silver lining of it all. That's my little wisdom for this video. All right, cheers.